Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. Happy Monday to you. If there is such a thing, we're going to take a look at Bitcoin and see what's going on, of course. Helping understand what could shape up here this week with some key level resistances, a nice little retest of a support level, handful of little things that we can kind of look at to identify what might happen soon, right? It's all kind of a guessing game, but it's educated guessing. That's what we're going to try to focus on here today. Do you want to become a better educated guesser? CryptoCash.tech is a site, link down below where you can actually become a better trader. We've got a lot of awesome membership plans and just generally speaking, a growing community. It's so cool to be able to be part of this. Let's go ahead and check out our Discord just really quick and see some of the most recent trades that my community members have been taking. That's the great thing about this. We're all learning and growing together, and you're never alone. So it's awesome. Take a look at this here. BNB long from Alexandru. We actually have a BNB long open right now with a average lower price, but just a little bit higher than his entry. So good job, Alexandru, for that. Awesome shorts as well for AGold and VRA. And then, of course, a nice chain link long. So super cool stuff here. My members are killing it, and I'm super happy to be able to see them grow and become just generally better, more consistent traders. So thanks again for just being awesome parts of my life. And once again, congrats on some of those recent signals we took profit on last week. I got a couple of them actually shaping up here today that I'm looking at. And there's a good chance we're going to take some nice healthy profits here very soon. Speaking of healthy profits, take a look here as well. We got a nice $4,000 prize pool, whereas that just finished. The competition just finished. So congrats to a lot of my members for taking that win, so to speak. The top 3 members took a decent amount here as well for trading volume, and then of course profit and loss ratio. Easy to qualify. All you gotta do is use the link down below to qualify. You just use my link to register. It's simple as that. Same thing with Bybit too. They got amazing deposit rewards. They also link directly to my Cornix through my automated system. So when we start having competitions with them, you'll be automatically eligible just based on following my signals. It's kind of a cool process. And if you're in the US, you don't want to use leverage, we got an awesome option here with MEXC Global as well. Be sure to check all those out. Okay, so here's the thing with Bitcoin. We are retesting 25,000 pretty consistently. We've had 1, 2, 3, today's the 4th day retesting that level. Now, is it good or bad that it's doing that more frequently? It's more positive than negative, right? Because if you take a look at the current situation here, we can see this ascending type of trend forming. And the more often you retest a resistance level, the more likely it is to break, right? So if we can continue to retest that level, there's a great chance we're going to be able to see that price get broken. Okay, now keep in mind we got some strong resistance levels here as well. Previously, as mentioned on the monthly and the weekly, there's resistance forming at 25 to 26,000. There's also something to note, the 0.618 mark, or 1.618, Fibonacci retracement level is a very consistent number in trading. So you'll see here, right at 26,000, we could very well see that be a strong resistance level as well. Okay, so just keep that in mind. There's some obvious resistance coming up. If we can break cleanly through 26,000, I think we can run to 28, because that's a previous resistance area there as well. Let's just go ahead and backtrack a little here. Let's take a look at the monthly. And just a note, we're retesting almost 50 on the RSI. Okay, that's a positive sign. We want to get back up above that, because obviously when we're above it, we are very bullish and things are looking good. We haven't been above for a while now, and it's I wouldn't say it's concerning, but it's been literally almost a full year since we've been above that level. Okay, so awesome stuff there in that regard, that we're getting close to that. We also see the MACD is starting to converge. We're starting to lose that momentum to the downside. Another couple of months, we might see that start to converge and cross over. The important thing here on the monthly, though, is a simple moving average. We can see here at the 50, we can see that this guy is currently being broken, right? So that 50-day SMA is averaging itself out right in about the 24,000 mark as a rough estimate. So we can close this month over that level, over 24,000 or higher. We should be in pretty darn good shape, okay? So that's a really good sign there in that sense, more positive. The weekly is a different scenario here altogether, where we can see here that the actual price action, where the 50-day SMA is coming down, it's averaging really close to about the current price point at 24,500. So while it's good to be up over the 50, we haven't broken through the 200 yet, which is exactly at 25,000. Okay, so again, that's a key level resistance that has proven to be very strong in the past, so we got to respect the fact that that could be the case. But good news is we're up over 50 on the RSI. We're kind of moving in a weekly, we have a good weekly momentum, and overall I think that we're still in pretty good shape there. So still more positive than negative, but it's just something you kind of got to recognize that we got some strong resistance above us between 25 and 26. Okay, once we break 25, I say a closure at 25,200 today would be extremely advantageous. That's what we're kind of hoping for. Just to touch on it as well, traditional markets are kind of even right now, so not much to really say there. But generally speaking, we're in a situation right now where it could go either way. We're at this point where we got a strong previous resistance working as a support level, but we've also got a lot of resistance that are kind of forming on the larger time frames. Okay, so again, the larger the time frame, the more impactful those things are. So just keep in mind, we may not be in the clear here just yet. If we were to break 25,000, I think 26 or higher would be a definite indication we're in good shape. But for right now, there's a lot of signs kind of telling us it wants to go higher. Let me explain that. First of all, RSI, we're kind of getting closer to retesting 70 on the RSI. So as you can see previously, when we break above 70, strong things happen because once again, a lot of shorts are kind of hedged at that specific level. So we probably got a lot of short stop losses right at the 25.5, 25.7 mark at just above that key level resistance, okay? Because you can see right here at 0.414 in Fibonacci at 25,500, that's another resistance level. So a lot of shorts are going to have their stop loss right in that range. Okay, so it's a very common characteristic. Take a look at the 4 hour though here. We can kind of see a little bit better what this ascending trend is looking like. Okay, so it's starting to work its way up and we got this resistance level here. So we do have an ascending type of wedge pattern here, right? So a lot of times it'll work itself into a wedge and break to the upside. It's less common for it to break down, but it can still happen. Okay, so keep that in mind. That is a potential reality, but not the case here. We're above the 50-day SMA, the 200, and of course, staying above the 20 as well. So those are all positive signs for a bullish continuation. We've also can see that we're above 50 and below 70 on the RSI. That's a positive sign as well. And the MACD hasn't converged yet, but it looks like it wants to. Okay, so we break above 25K today, we will get that convergence on the 4 hour. So for the most part, this little run looking pretty good. We're only about 3-4 hour candles in. We could literally see another 6, which would be what, maybe in the range of, I don't know, 16 to 24 hours of continuation to the upside. Look at how strong this candle came down and got rejected. It's a very positive sign. Okay, we take a look at the TD sequential here on the hourly as well. We got kind of, we actually consolidated here nicely, nice little wedge, and the price comes up and it's doing the same thing again. So we keep having these little flag patterns forming that are continuously retesting resistance levels at 25K. So to me, it seems fairly obvious that we're going to see 25K retested a few more times. Will it break the first time or the second or third time? It's hard to say, but we have had 4 out of the last, 6 or 7 trading days at retesting that level. Okay, the more likely, the longer you stay at that resistance level, the longer, better chance it is to break through. Now, I know you could probably think to yourself, well, if there's a strong resistance there, why isn't it, there's a reason why it's not breaking through, right? Well, there's a lot of mitigating factors, but for the most part, we have more complementing factors here right now, showing us that the price action should increase from here, especially when you start seeing these kind of candle wicks here. These are dragonfly candles. They're very, very positive, kind of letting you know that the price should continue in that direction because this candlestick opened here and closed at the exact same spot, and it basically tells you that the bears were unsuccessful in going lower. Same thing here as well. Unsuccessful, likelihood of further upside. Again, these are just statistical probabilities. There's no guarantee it's going to hold. The price could drop. Some large whale could decide to sell their whole entire position, and it's a different story altogether. But let's take a look at some complementing factors here as well. This is one that I like to kind of use and consistently benefit from, Ichimoku Cloud. We've got upper and lower lead, prices above both. Fantastic, check number 1. Conversion line is above the baseline, check number 2. Lagging span is almost free and clear of price action here. So we've got 2 out of 3 indications kind of letting us know that either A, a long position is viable, or B, if you have a long position open, you keep it open. Okay, because there's no proof here that we've broken below the cloud. I mean, look how definitive this is. Ever since we've been up here, we have yet to break below the cloud. So it's been our nice little saving grace, creating higher highs and higher lows. Higher lows and parallel highs. And every time you have parallel highs, the likelihood of the price breaking the upside is higher. Okay, so to me, the hourly and the daily look pretty darn good. The 4 hour is kind of transitioning still, but generally speaking, we have more positive than negative here. So I would say that if you were considering a long position, it wouldn't be the worst thing ever. Just make sure you have, nice stop losses. Maybe consider multiple entries in case the price were to pull back. That way you can kind of be safer than sorry. Okay. Again, different situations, different strokes for different folks, but this is a very crazy time in the market right now as far as where the price is at, because it's always weird when the price comes up and has this period of doubt where the price is not sure which way it wants to go, but all the patterns are kind of leading more so to the upside than the downside. Again, a closure above 25,000 a day would be huge. I don't know if we'll see that just yet, but it does look like we're ascending nicely and there's more positive than negative. To me, that's kind of just something that I like to look at and understand. And generally speaking, I think we're in good shape. So all in all, be careful and cautious if you are trading right now, of course. Tight stop losses, or more importantly, low position sizes and low leverage if possible. Try not to over leverage. Try not to use your entire portfolio when you trade. That's the path to the dark side, okay? Pace yourself. It's the important thing. And if you're not quite sure what that means, check out my last chapter in my Trading Academy, where you can actually see, or I talk a little bit more about specific examples and how to manage your emotions a little bit better, right? Because that's one of the biggest things here, of course. Okay. So either way, that being said, that's where we're at. Hopefully this was beneficial for you. Thank you so much for joining me here. You do want to become a better trader, CryptoCash.tech is a site. We do offer a free 1-week trial membership here for our signals if you're curious what that looks like. Otherwise, look forward to work with you. Have a great rest of your day. Thanks for your time.